So, welcome to some testing. I just realized the ISO gets extremely large. I slightly wonder why. So previously we were below gigabyte and now we are at 1.3. What have we done wrong? Build. There's always something. You think you're finally freaking done and then ISO is huge. Why would that be? Okay, LVM is, yeah, I mean, you know what? That might be, also, yes, so that is crazy. That is not cool. Yeah, so my point from yesterday, right? Creating more small and beautiful software and stuff. This is of course outrageous that that is half a gig there of LVM stuff. So much to hell we can LTO that, but maybe we shouldn't. Maybe it's mostly let's try install that. So maybe we need to rebuild a lot after all, but so let's just see what happens. Let's install this. Let's see in the installed system. First of all, let's see if everything installs. This overlog is often something not. Create a file system of better as there. All right, we still have at least one thing to do, but first I want to see how the Firefox behaves LTO'd. And yeah, this is crazy. We can actually take a look at its sizes already now. So that would be LVM. I think they have mostly LVM in the name. Yeah, so as expected, yeah, so this static, I mean, maybe we should, maybe did we need static for something? Yeah, so of course lots of the static libraries do a lot to that. I don't remember how it was with Mesa. So yeah, so much to LTO is amazing, except yeah. So much to, did I commit this already? I think I committed that already. Marking LVM clang LTO. Also, yeah, I saw the error there. That is mostly whatever, doesn't matter. Off by one. Let's also add another to-do. So you see, you've never shortened on to-do items. Cleaner. Which is, I wanted eventually, did I have this already on the grub to, I also have a rename pending there. Which is also LTO Firefox done, and rewrite grub stone modules to never use grub install directly, because we now have a code path behaving differently if you anyway, details. Posted some stuff on previous video related to micro now. Cool stuff, thanks for that. So I think that probably should work. Yeah, so it installed. So the crazy behavior that I said yesterday, musl, libc, mine, tarball extracting, erroring out strangely. Still need to debug that. So also, I will also probably never be short of. Also there was another thing. Let's watch the boot process here just for Okay, that comes up. Also, yeah, so much cleaner now. Also, yeah, so much cleaner, except this is on my to-do already. This is one of the last things to do. Maybe I add here KVM LTO is way too freaking large. TM. And the other thing is actually I wanted, where's my grub entry? Grub EFI entry to boot other OS. So yeah, this is just not installing this bloody file. What does come up with .x? Okay, that still works, not which driver would also works, except where's my mouse? Hello, mouse? Why is my mouse not moving anymore? Was moving a second ago. At least I thought it was moving. Hello? Bugs. Control G. Ah, wait, is it? Oh no, this is. Oh no, the mouse is not moving. Always. Oops. What have I done now? Did I somehow close the wrong window? Previous video says so that would be there. Don't see it there yet though. There somewhere. Oh, don't tell me this disappeared already. Did this disappear? What do you say? Posted some stuff. So yeah, sometimes the comments disappear and they are not in. So that is really strange, except this bloody reports of freaking commercial content and spam. Where are you saying? So it looks like this comment disappeared again. Maybe I don't know. This is really sad. Could you repost that? You probably don't have. Yeah, this is yeah. YouTube comments. Maybe you want to join Discord or stuff for that discussion. What? Why do we not have? Why does it not boot now? Booted previously. That is funny. No it boots. Whatever wrong is that? So yeah, keyboard mouse, not sure what's up with that. Maybe some lib input regression, but it's of course known that the upstream developers let Xorg rather bitrate, which obviously is rather sad. Oh darn, this log file didn't make it to the... Yeah, I don't understand this. So I had this every day. I have some comment, and I'm not removing those. And as you see, it disappeared for me also instantly. So it's also not in review there. So I have no idea what YouTube shit that is. I'm really sorry. So that comes from using major commercial platforms and stuff. Dev. This is actually more like, oh shit, this is some real kernel regression or something, because the mouse device already doesn't properly work. This is bizarre. Can really not have, maybe it's ridiculous. So this is really sad. You work months and then upstream regressions of, yeah, but it looks like it doesn't already not come out of this device. Maybe I should switch to USB though. Let's test Firefox, whether it comes up. Also we need interesting. So it does at least come up. Do we have Control Q or something? Close. So yeah, so far so good. We however need DH client 0. So yeah, I wonder if this happens on real hardware, if this is a Qemu bug, or it looks like a Linux kernel bug to me. And yeah, of course performance is not visualized because, but yeah, I mean at least it like kind of mostly works. Did I even run with enable Qemu? But probably I did. Oh yeah, otherwise it wouldn't be so fast. Yeah, cool. So Firefox comes up. Something is wrong with the Windows run and USB tablet or so. Tablet something port mouse tablet something tablet USB of alright, maybe if you also want whatever. Let's see if mouse works with device tablet or something. Bus XHCI not found because USB XHCI device snack, that one, or maybe that one. Yeah, I need more unit testing, and I mean the stuff you can't even unit test enough, right? And also this is crazy that you just build the upstream source, mostly vanilla except YOLO and hotfix patches, and at the end something as trivial as a freaking mouse doesn't freaking, like a good old-fashioned, do I have even a good old-fashioned PS2 mouse doesn't freaking, that's hilarious. Yeah, progress and so you have the desktop Linux. Let's cut dev input mouse and darn, this was again wrong focus. Welcome, Jamerican. Nothing then doing everything 5 times because of Control seeing the wrong. Okay, that works. Control. So somehow this happens way more with my previously my life with Xorg and stuff that didn't happen that much. Somehow this is a sway. Anyway. Jamerican curious about pre-built packages repositories because wanted to install Cinnamon DE and wasn't certain how to do it with a package manager. Same true for non-free packages like Steam. Yeah, that is a bit of a problem, and not even the Cinnamon, maybe we don't even have that. So I mean, Steam should ideally be somehow packaged. We can package non-free stuff like build recipes. We can mark them to like no mirror of not distributing their copyrighted stuff to our mirrors, and yet people can emerge that from source at home. Someone should package Cinnamon. I guess we don't have that. Something. Signpaint. Actually, you know what? I think Signpaint probably bit rotted. Is that still a thing? That was a GIMP fork or something. Short-lived, probably because I guess that's not this. I think it was like 16-bit. Yeah, HDR paint stop motion animation. Yeah, I'm so long. Raise your hand. Probably next to nobody of you ever heard about that. And given that it was relatively, you know what, if this... Wow, they still freaking developed that? Wow, that is unexpected. The more you know, live here on this channel. Also this paint. Source. Also, is this only Windows? Because freaking nobody at them cares. Source zip, thank you very much. Is this even still a thing? Also, yeah, you know, this are Windows developers when they distribute their stuff as zip. Was it source something, sign paint? Also now with capital sign paint, dash source 144 dash source zip. Does that load like that? Also can do it later. Yeah, later it is. So yeah, now we have a freaking mouse. Not that it would help that much. Actually, we probably should test VirIO GPU someday. Not that, yeah. Probably should be better. Obviously, it should be better. Yeah, so something is piece 2, either in Qemu or most. I think it previously always worked, so most likely Linux kernel is so bugged because you can never, or GCC miscompilation of, yeah, see, they totally got that glorified assembler preprocessor, portable assembler preprocessor thing. Date client, all open source projects development continues only on Windows. By the way, we don't ship GIMP. So yeah, I need to think what I do with LVM. Yeah, so much to nearly done, except can't really ship it like that with 500 megabyte of freaking LVM. That certainly doesn't scale. Also, do we have, maybe we need actually, maybe after all this time, I mean, we are a little bit delayed. Also, yes, thank you very much for that stuff. So hello, mouse cursor, scrolling. Did I not have tablet mode there, or what did, why is this here? So, maybe this is not reducing the right driver. That's this, because it should be one-to-one tablet thing, but whatever. No, this does HTTP without warning. So yeah, of course performance there, because obviously VM and stuff. But at least it works, because some people complained it didn't work. Maybe they fixed this with latest glibc. And yes, what was it? Something. Yeah, so much to how much do we need to package? This is from Linux Mint. Is this supported on other distributions though? This is, I'm not sure how packaging that. So yeah, ideally this should be somewhat packaged. We have, of course, just reached 4,000 packages, but it's never 4,004 also in the meantime. By the way, okay, let's finish this freaking SignPaint download. What would be the latest? I should also check, actually, let's check one thing quickly. Which is boot set standard decompress init rd. Oh, not Tor, CPIO. And let's see if, oh no, this was our change did not yet create stale, the change for Musel in sbin mk init rd. We should have here somewhere a check around the magic for, this did not yet include, okay, that is not the best test because this somehow was not yet rebuilt with this. There's so much to that. Anyway, sign paint. What are all our other builds? All our other builds are mostly building. What do we have there? Did I not libgmp? Did I not? Ah, darn. Alter arch to where do we have what is our default? Let's try if that works around that for now. We have a little bit oldish but still pretty accurate documentation here, but you can just copy. I made just a video, although it got a little bit longer, creating packages, so I usually just created just copy like GIMP or something, but otherwise this is relatively detailed. It's a little bit 2007, but it didn't really change that much, so but it's maybe just watching some previous video of creating a T2 package, basically filling the metadata and seeing what automatically compiles and adding, sparkling in some source lines of creating stuff. Cinnamon. Yeah, maybe we can try packaging sometimes soon. Just a little bit busy with keeping all the other stuff compiling and such. I closed that, right? You know what we could do? Let's test that a little bit more before we release it. And coffee. Yeah. It's a little bit small, huh? Is it better? Let's see if stuff actually freaking works. And still sign paint. Yeah, our docs, I used the Doxygen. We actually had a publisher. We nearly published that until we thought that it's not important enough, and we signed it actually in Europe, publishing contract for that. But for that, I based on the subversion. So this is using. It's also not the greatest technology. It's using subversion, XML, DocBook XML, Apache, FOP formatted object stuff or something. But yeah, unfortunately this Apache FOP stuff is Java, and I think I back in the day got it to work with GCC, GCJ or something. Maybe nowadays I need to somehow redo it, and yeah, on the other hand it's maybe not the most important thing. Maybe I should just get the Apache FOP stuff going and update it a little bit. But whatever. So sign paint, what do we do with the download here? So package, if it even freaking still builds, which maybe it doesn't, but at least we can try. What is the latest and greatest? Latest and greatest, yeah, lots of outdated packages. TNAV, taper, what would be recently, was it ACPI stuff of the SourceForge. Okay, let's try that. Where was it even? There. So that would be we have SourceForge, though. We had ACPI something. So that was DL SourceForge project name. SourceForge project name, why does it not freaking download then? Or do we, they changed this also to capital. Sign Qemu, also case. Hey, that downloads, yeah. Whether that freaking builds, I have no idea. So Windows version released, and macOS version coming. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just committed like that because whatever. Yeah, let's not even try this. Maybe it builds, maybe it doesn't. Someone can fix it if it doesn't. I mean, they surely use something else in GTK1 by now, don't they? I mean, if it builds for macOS, maybe it has a chance to build. I mean, also, yeah, the priorities, right? Windows version and macOS a little bit. Alright, also super outdated, certainly can. And then, what? One more, or maybe I wasn't fast enough. Anyway, so let's see if this is good enough to build something, like stable enough and so on. And then rebuild, I didn't commit this yet. Okay. Anyway, then let's test that if it's stable enough to build something. Hello, focus somewhere. Mouse. There's more. Emerge missing on, or yeah, whatever. Let's see what happens with. Okay, does something. Also, yeah, this needs to fix that. Also, stuff just installing stuff. Jamaican rights T2 Zenbook. Identify UDFD was freezing. Remove the UDFD package using stone. I think this is not interesting. Maybe this was firmware loading. Maybe it froze on loading AMD APU firmware or something. Certainly not ideal. Sign paint doesn't build because something also seems like, yeah, who cares? Okay, fine. So, sign paint. But what I really wanted to do was test initRD stuff, whether we can commit it like this or whether it creates nonsense symlinks. And then x86 has been okay. What did we build? Probably 5.14.11 T2. So far, I don't see various symlink stuff. Let's double check. That should probably initRD. It should include here. Yeah, if not symlink or that. Let's test that. So that should be just rebuilt just now. That is 1150 without time zone, like UTC or something. Set standard, decompress, init rd cpmi. Yeah, so we don't have still symlinks there, so maybe there's a chance of that working, so let's commit that. For now anyway. Yeah. Like musel, is it LD or build x86 dash musel LDS? Correct. LD musel. What fixed ORM can you reach include some other message? I guess that's, yeah, it's maybe one final update of the to-do, which we, as always, as mentioned already, have way too many. Somewhat not getting better. So yeah, do that. That crazy thing, CMake. Okay, we work around that for now. Yeah, this here, unfortunately. And what was the last thing? Okay, I work around that as well. We could include this as future stuff eventually. I added a symlink for that for now. Good enough. It's too complex, too complicated to patch bin utils when a symlink can work around that. So remove that freaking C shell musel, and that is that all? Maybe it's all. I guess it's mostly in test. UCC maybe Spark build. So that's mostly it. I probably can build all again because I had this bug overnight that we didn't correctly configure. Oh, this is also shit. In my build all script that didn't configure the non-desktop glib builds to Xorg, so lots of packages missing there. So can warm the office, keep the Horizon busy, so I move on to other work. I hope you learned something, especially how much broken stuff can be, including freaking PS2 mouse, unfortunately. American. So the AMD GPU driver is there and it should work. I run the latest version. Right. You used the previous ISO, right? The previous ISO. So what you need to do, you need to update two things. Maybe it's easier to use this ISO that we will publish soon. In the previous ISO, probably you need to update Linux firmware because this driver, AMD GPU driver, it is in there, but you probably need a newer version and definitely need Linux firmware, right? It's the same with the AMD RX 6700 XT. You always need the latest driver, obviously, right? If the old previous driver doesn't know about your card at all, then obviously it doesn't work. And if you just update the kernel driver, like you need to rebuild like emerge, depths none or missing only or something, not to rebuild too much. Linux kernel. You also need to additionally build Linux firmware because that is split in the firmware also that needs to be loaded by the AMD GPU driver into the card. And if you don't have that, you also don't have, stupid design, recurring theme, not immensely impressed anymore with the Linux kernel style. I would do so much different. There's so much more amazing ways to do that. Because also if the Linux kernel AMD GPU driver can't load the firmware, you don't have any output, right? Your display stays black. In my opinion, the right thing to do would be in the AMD GPU driver, first of all, I would do a microkernel, right? I have user space drivers, and the user space driver, like /lib driver or whatever you name it, like macOS system library extension and stuff, have the firmware not like in Linux firmware, like lib firmware, but all the like Intel Wireless has its firmware like it is on macOS basically. How better, like then you can also like microkernel, stable APIs, update drivers like on Windows and stuff. Anyway, but the biggest design failure in my opinion is that if, sure, it's a rare case, you have new stuff and not everything updated, but the freaking AMD GPU driver should never leave the card or the kernel frame buffer subsystem in a half initialized, not really initialized state. So basic programming freaking 101, and this is so sad, right? Linux Foundation gives those people $1 million and yet everything is so half-baked, and I need to sit here and explain people like how to freaking the basic 101 of programming stuff. If you don't have the firmware, don't try to freaking use the card and leave, because you have boot, right? You have boot picture from EFI frame buffer, simple frame buffer, so you have freaking some output, and then the bloody AMD GPU or probably other drivers start to mess around, start to initialize, start to register. It's like, oh, I don't have the firmware. It's like, yeah, don't do nothing. And then leaving this picture black. Super worst case, but recurring. Not impressed. 30 years of freaking Linux, and tempfs can still out of memory stall your kernel and AMD GPU. I had the freaking same, right? RX 6700 here. Pack it out, plug it in, black picture. You can't even freaking, the worst case, right? You can't even freaking use a simple EFI frame buffer to freaking simple update Linux firmware and the latest kernel. Again, but yeah, you probably want to share, like, and subscribe for more wisdom, like more priceless wisdom like this. Hope to see you soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and have a wonderful sunny day like this. Probably need to go to Union, go out to the sun and enjoy the day more than with this regressions. See you next time.